July 2021 is one of the most critical months since the pandemic began for United States travel to Europe. More countries are open to Americans. Plus, the Green Certificate vaccine passport rolls out for more accessible Schengen zone travel. Do Americans need the EU Green Certificate? Many countries are in the process of rolling out a vaccine passport where visitors and returning residents upload proof of a COVID-19 vaccination to waive the quarantine restrictions. The European Union requires its residents to use the Green Certificate to travel between member nations. As of July 15, 2021, this pass is only available to EU residents. International residents are not required to download the pass but may need to upload their necessary travel documents to another country-specific online portal. This vaccine passport will soon become available to international travelers, but potentially not before the peak summer travel season ends. Where can Americans fly in Europe? As revenge travel increases, Europe is a top travel destination for many Americans. While it's possible to visit more countries, strict travel guidelines still apply. Tourists will need to review the entry requirements for each nation instead of just booking a flight, flashing your travel passport at customs and effortlessly crossing national borders. More nations require travelers to be fully vaccinated to waive the mandatory quarantine. However, you may be able to enter quarantine-free by only taking a pre-arrival test to select nations. Until the European Union establishes a consensus for uniform entry standards and multi-country travel, each nation has its own agreement with the United States for Americans to enter. However, remember that the spread of coronavirus variants can change entry requirements with short notice. Americans can fly to Italy on COVID-tested flights and waive the mandatory quarantine. Proof of vaccination or a negative pre-arrival test can also dismiss the 10-day isolation period. France is open to Americans traveling for non-essential travel. The United States is one of the few nations on the French Green List permitting international visitors. Adults must either be fully vaccinated or obtain a pre-arrival PCR test no earlier than 72 hours before coming to France. Children age 11 or under are treated as fully vaccinated. United States citizens have been able to visit Germany since June 20, 2021, unless traveling from a virus variant area. Travelers with a negative pre-arrival test or proof of vaccination can enter. Greece allows US residents with full vaccination or a negative PCR test to enter quarantine-free. Malta now requires all visitors from any EU or non-EU nation 13 years or older to be fully vaccinated to enter and waive the mandatory quarantine. This island nation is the first EU member to have this requirement for any non-Maltese visitors. While Iceland isn't in Europe proper, it was one of the first European nations to reopen for tourism.